Let's be honest, upgrading your audio is not usually on the top of your priority list. It definitely was not on the top of mine, but it is undeniable that good audio quality can completely transform a viewing experience, not only for yourself, but for your audience as well. And today I'm going to show you a couple items that I picked up that not only massively improve your audio quality, but it does so at a price that's not going to bankrupt you. Now, before we get too deep into this video, I did need to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Flexispot, and their E7 Plus desk. I have owned a lot of desks in my life, but the E7 is 100% my absolute favorite. And if you are ever in need of a desk, then this right here is the one that you want. They have 4 legs for increased stability at max height, meaning this desk will hardly wobble at all, which is a huge issue with 2-legged sit-stand desks. And you get insane 540-pound capacity and a 15-year warranty. But by far the best thing about these desks is the level of customization that you get. You have so many tabletop options compared to other brands that it would be silly not to choose Flexispot. For me, I chose the dark bamboo. I thought it looked really nice with my new setup here, and I chose the black frame, which I absolutely think is a great change up from the white desk that I had previously, which was also an E7, by the way. Oh, and if you're worried that this thing's not going to be tall enough, think again. This thing can rise up to 51.6 inches. That's pretty crazy. So if you are in the need or you just want a brand new desk, then Flexispot needs to be your first choice. I'll leave links in the description down below. Now back to the video. So I have 2 items that we need to talk about today. One of those is for your own ears and the other is for everyone else's ears. And because this channel is all about you guys, we're going to talk about what affects your ears. So we're going to start by talking about this microphone right here. This is the AM8 ProT RGB streaming microphone kit by FiFine. Right off rip, you can tell that this thing was created for gamers and content creators. You get a dynamic microphone that utilizes both USB and XLR connectivity. The product comes with an RGB boom arm, a 3-in-1 multifunction control knob for microphone gain, headphone volume, and game and chat mix, and an RGB microphone light that lights up when I'm talking so that I know if my mic is live or not, which was a massive issue with my last USB mic. So initially, when it comes to this microphone, what draws you in is definitely the price tag, because as of recording this video right now, this microphone with boom arm is only $80, and for a microphone that has this type of quality audio for $80 is extremely good. But what I think is absolutely fantastic about this microphone is that not only can it be utilized as a USB microphone, but you can also use it as an XLR microphone for that higher quality audio. Now, I am the type of person who is always looking to upgrade, whether it is our studio backdrop and how we're going to be set up moving forward, our lighting. One thing that I have not spent any time upgrading is my audio, because great audio always seemed like it's really complicated, but this one is not. Really, all you have to do is take it out of the box and plug it in. Now, if you want to run the XLR, unfortunately, that's a little bit more difficult because you are going to need something like an audio mixer in order to utilize that feature. But fortunately for us, FiFine makes an audio mixer, and it's equally as awesome. This thing is called the SC8 USB audio mixer. It supports dynamic microphones as well as condenser microphones. It supplies 48 volts of phantom power and up to 50 decibels of gain available for XLR microphones. And if you're really into roleplay, you have a ton of little voice changers.
The touch of a button can sound like a baby, or I can sound like a girl. Even though the girl one I didn't think sounded very much like a girl.
Now, this is not just a quality upgrade. This is the type of upgrade that takes your setup from fun to professional, and it does all of that for only $72. But the absolute best thing about this microphone right here is just how good the audio sounds, because for the past 2 years, I've been using a lavalier mic as my go-to mic for all the content that we've produced on the channel, and I've never really been a big fan of it. Now, my editor is going to turn off this microphone right here, and he's only going to let you hear the lavalier mic so that you can hear the difference between this microphone and this microphone. And I think it's pretty shocking, actually. It definitely makes me feel like I need to invest in a much stronger setup for my YouTube videos and then keep this for my sim racing and live streams, even though this would be a pretty dope podcast mic. FiFine honestly has done a fantastic job with this whole setup here. Not only is it extremely affordable for high quality audio, but it's super simple to plug all this in. I think I took this out of the box and it may have taken me 15 minutes to get this whole thing set up and get us rolling, which is really impressive because I've always been kind of nervous to get into like audio mixers, which I know that there's some way more complicated ones. I'm gonna stick with this one. So we've talked about the audio that everyone else is gonna hear. Now we need to talk about the audio that you are gonna hear. Now recently I came into possession of a really cool projector called the Horizon 20 by X Jimmy. It's an RGB triple laser. I did a review on it. It's phenomenal. I'll watch that over my home TV any day of the week. But the problem is that while it does have Harman Kardon speakers inside of there, it's completely transformed the way we watch movies. I watch movies now at 130 inches at 4K quality, and it's unbelievable. And the audio, while it's good, it's not great. So that's where the Ultimea BS-3s come into play. I was originally planning on using these for my desk audio, but after hearing just how good these things sound, I knew that they would be a better fit for my home theater, especially seeing as how I was trying to avoid a sound bar because that was going to take up some of the real estate space on the projection wall, and I didn't really want to see a sound bar, and I definitely didn't want a subwoofer that was like a dedicated subwoofer off to the side. And with these speakers, I don't need to worry about that. These are super impressive because they are a true 3-way powered bookshelf speaker that comes in at a price point that you just don't see in speakers of this quality. Now, when I say 3-way powered, what I'm talking about is the 5.25 inch subwoofer, the 2.75 inch mid-range driver, and the 1-inch tweeter that's all inside of each one of these speakers. The reason that this matters so much is that normally in speakers at this price point, what you're really getting is you're getting a tweeter and a subwoofer. But the BS-3 adds a dedicated mid-range driver specifically to handle vocals, instruments, and dialogue, which will reduce distortion and improve clarity on the frequencies we hear most. We get a few built-in presets. We get movie mode, music mode, and game mode. And these things sound unbelievable, especially when you factor in the fact that these only cost $180. Now in the box, you get your XLR cable, your power cable, and you get some RGB. Now you can control the speaker from the switches that they have included on your right-hand side speaker, but it also comes with a remote that does all of the same functions, so you don't have to get up and touch the speaker every time you want to turn it on. Now for me, I just went ahead and picked up 2 little stands. They were like $60 on Amazon, nothing too crazy. I will link them down below if there's something that you're looking for. I didn't want them to be too tall next to my dresser, which will also need to move because it's not centered to the screen, but ultimately it has completely changed the way that the theater sounds in my bedroom. I mean, it is unbelievably immersive for 2 speakers. It's really, really great. Obviously, I am not done with audio upgrades for this channel. There are soundproofing that I would like to do to the walls. There is also a ton of things that I still need to do to this room. We're gonna be, revamping this entire background. This is just where we're at so far. It is a slow process. I do have a full-time job. This is not where I make a living. So this is all just kind of we're just getting it done as we go type process. I just wanted to show you some of the cool stuff that I've added to our setup because I think it's awesome, and I definitely think it's worth you taking a look at if you're somebody who's looking to, improve the audio quality, either for, the sound that you hear or the sound that you want people to hear, because these are 2 tremendous options. If you did have a little bit of fun here with me today, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. I'm doing my very best to provide you with the most awesome content I possibly can. Plus, you got to stick around because next week we have a PC build that's going to be just super pretty. But as always, no matter where you are in the world, I hope that you are having the most fantastic day, and I'm gonna see you right here for the next video.